Hello Bon Bakers and welcome back to my channel. You're with Nicole, and if you're new here, I share lots of delicious home-style recipes as well as baking tips and tricks. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how to prepare or line some different types of baking tins. And that was a special request from one of my subscribers. They wanted to know how to do this, and it's really great to get your feedback because it's a video that I probably wouldn't have thought to do myself. So you ask and you get. I've got a few different types of baking tins here today. I've got a rectangular one here, which is really good for slices and brownies. And then I've also got this size one, which is good for loaf cakes or like banana breads, that kind of thing. And then I've got your traditional round style cake tin. So we're gonna start with the rectangular one, and you'll also need some baking or parchment paper. And if you've got it, some oil, vegetable oil spray, and if you don't have this, some butter is fine as well. All right, so all you need to do is, or how I like to do it, is to spray around all of the corners and then the base, just very lightly with your oil. So give it a good shake and start spraying. Bit more. There we go. Okay, so that one's sprayed. And now with your parchment paper, just move these to the side. This one's pretty easy because the paper pretty much fits the size of the pan. So I like to roll it out and have a little bit of overhang on either of the sides. So just cut that off. And then this one can literally go straight into the base. Just drop it down and then the sides will come up. And just make sure it's nice and flat on the base here. And then with these bits on the side, put them up as well. And then if you've got too much, just fold it over like this. Now I like to keep the little bit of extra parchment paper at the top here on the sides because I use that after I've baked my whatever it is, my slice or whatever, to pick it up. So these act as great handles. If you were to cut it too short, you wouldn't be able to pick it up as easily. So it's really good to have that little bit of extra space on the sides. So you might have noticed that I've left these sides clear, and I find that that's normally all good. I don't need to usually line them unless it's something that's super sticky, but the oil around the sides is going to help with that, and really this is going to be enough. I found that it's always enough when I'm baking. So yeah, don't worry too much about those little extra sides here. There you go, so 1 down, 2 to go. Now we're moving on to our loaf tin here, and I'm going to do this one with butter instead of the oil. So as I said before, you can use either. So with butter, you can either melt it, and then with a basting brush, you can just line it with the side so it kind of is that more oily texture. But if you can't be bothered doing that, something I normally do is literally just get the block and run it around the sides of the cake tin. It's really easy and it works just as well. Take off this. So it's really easy. All you need to do is rub it along the sides and that'll line it nicely. All in the middle as well. There you go. All 4 sides and the base. Perfect. Okay, so now that is lined with the butter, it's sort of similar to the first one, it's just not as big. So we're going to do the same we're going to measure out a little bit either side. So a little bit either side here. Chop that one off. And then I just press it down and flatten out that base. And with the corners, I just make them into little triangles like that and squash them down so that they are tucked out of the way. Again, just fold slightly for your handles. Last but not least, our cake tin. So with this one, I find with the spring handle, they're the easiest to use just because you can often pop off the base. Oh, like that, pops out. So when you've got the cake on it, it's easier to release and get the cake out of the cake tin instead of having to tip it up upside down like that and then trying to get the cake out that way. So these ones are easiest to use. And for lining them, what I do is I take the base off and then I get my parchment paper. With the parchment paper, I pull it out so that there's a little bit of overhang on either side, not as much as the loaf tins though, but so that it covers the entire base, like so. And now what I do is I put the cake tin on top, the side of the cake, like that, so he's nice and in place, and then I just tighten the spring handle on the side. So as you tighten that handle, it scoops in and hugs that base. So now our bottom of our cake tin is perfectly lined. So there is our beautifully lined base of our cake tin. And just to finish it off, just spray the sides of the cake tin with that oil or parchment paper, or butter. Slightly spray the sides. And that is literally it. How easy is that? Now, if you have a cake tin that doesn't have the spring handle like what I do here, what I would do is get out the parchment paper, put the cake tin on top, and then draw a circle around it, and then literally just cut out that and then place it in the middle. And then coat the sides with oil, and you're done. So there you go guys, a few different types of tins here and ways in which you can prepare those. I really hope that this video is going to help you on your baking journey and make your life a lot easier. And if you like this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I have a new video coming out every single week, so hit that bell. And if there's anything that you want to know or learn, also make sure you let me know in the comments below. Thanks again, and I'll see you again next week.